Hello everybody. Is this thing on? I think it is. Yo, what is up, y'all? Today we are going to get into what video am I even doing right now, child? All right, y'all. What's up, everybody? It is Call Me Candace with Call Me Candace TV, and I am back with another YouTube video. I told y'all I was going to be consistent, and consistent is what I'm going to be. And today's video is going to be about things you need to do before you move into your first apartment or your next apartment. It don't matter, but this is for the girlies and the guys that are moving into their first apartment, okay? So keep watching. Before we get started, make sure you go ahead and smash that like and subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, and leave a comment down below on your unpopular food opinion. It's a hill that you're willing to die on, okay? My unpopular food opinion that needs to be a fact, it's actually a fact, but it's an unpopular food opinion, is that Chicago has the best food in all of America. And also another one of my unpopular opinions is steak should be eaten rare. These are things that I wish I knew before I moved into my first apartment, okay? My first apartment was out of state. I want something that screams Beyonce. I want something that says, I'm here, you know? And I wanted to move out of state. I wanted to move to Atlanta, so that's what I did. So here's some things that I would recommend you do before you do that. Here's my friend, y'all. Got your booty in the camera? Like, you need to chill. Pudding. So thing one that you need to do before moving into your first apartment is going to be having 6 months of rent and emergency expenses mapped out. Let me break this down to y'all because I don't think y'all know the most important step of anything. Of all my finance books that I've been reading, which I'll have linked down in the description down below, that teach you how to budget, teach you how to prepare for the worst, having a plan B, C, and D. You won't need to have all them plans if you have an emergency savings fund and all of your monthly expenses saved up. So let's go ahead and get into what those expenses are and how to calculate those, okay? Disclaimer, I'm not a financial guru, but I am learning. I am studying finances and reading a lot of books. So I think I know a little bit of something. The first step is going to be finding an online only bank, okay? Go ahead on TikTok or Google or YouTube and research who are the best online only banks. I was referred to by the Budgetnista from reading her book, Get Good with Money, right here. Go ahead and click that link in my bio to purchase this book. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, this book has some gems that I wish I would have known 5 years ago. Y'all have to get used to budgeting and learning the importance of a savings fund, okay? If you don't have an emergency fund, you are one broken leg, one car accident, one fired from a job, whatever, one emergency from being in debt and being broke and not being able to pay rent, not being able to get groceries, not being able to provide for your kids. You have to have an emergency savings fund for a rainy day, because sometimes them rainy days be tsunamis, be Hurricane Katrina's, be the levee done broke, okay? I am currently with Ally Bank. My mother has been using Ally Bank for a long time. I also find other ones, which I'll link down below in the description as well. You want an online only bank. Why? Because you do not want to touch those funds in your savings account. So for example, say you are in the mall, right? And you're shopping with your homegirls, you're shopping with whoever, shopping with bae. Hopefully he not making you pay, or they not making you pay for your own stuff, girl, because we still hot girls, we still city girls. Say you are shopping and you see something nice and shiny and glamorous and you want to go ahead and pick it up. Your savings account is connected to your checking account, connected to your debit card. You can just transfer them funds because in your mind, you're like, well, you got that mentality.
I'm gonna get paid anyway, so I'll make it back, you know.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, you know, like be delusional on TikTok that everybody's saying, like, I could just spend it and get it right back. I'm gonna get paid, so I might as well eat out. I might as well go to brunch with my homegirls. I might as well buy this shiny object in the store, right? Oh, you end up transferring that money from your savings account while you're in that store because you was tempted by the devil himself to get that. And now that becomes a pattern, and all of a sudden all your savings is gone. Your savings is not supposed to be touched, baby. So the reason why a lot of financial gurus emphasize having an online only bank is because most of the time you won't be able to touch that money because it's not connected to a debit card. You can only transfer money to it from an online bank. Two, it's going to take 24 hours anyway to access that money. So unless you done found a 24-hour Walmart, a Target, a Sephora, a Nordstrom, a Neiman Marcus, wherever you at, you ain't going to be spending the night in the store. So when you have your savings in an online only bank, you're not going to be able to be tempted to swipe it out with a debit card or transfer it to your checking account. So you're not going to be able to access it to the next day. It ain't nothing that important that you're going to be spending the night in the store waiting 24 hours to get that money. So that's why it's a good habit to have an online only bank with a savings account like Ally or the banks that I'm listed down below, because you do not want to be tempted having that debit card and getting swipe happy because you ain't got no discipline. We know you get paid every week, but I don't mean that check gonna be the same. That don't mean that you're gonna have that same discipline to transfer stuff back into your savings account. Like, don't do it. Don't get in the habit of that. So get an online only banking account. I use Ally, like I said. Boom. Let's start talking about how we're gonna make that little budget of what's gonna go in there. So let me go ahead and get my little laptop so y'all don't got to see my side profile. What goes into your 6 months of expenses? Now, if you really can't do 6 months of expenses, I do recommend starting out with at least 3 months. Okay, at least do 3 months. How you calculate that is using your mandatory bills. And we know ain't nothing more mandatory than rent, keeping your lights and your water and your gas on, maybe Wi-Fi, because you could always find like a really cheap deal on Wi-Fi, groceries, your transportation, your healthcare, and toiletries. Toiletries as in cleaning supplies, hygiene products, toothbrush, stuff to like keep your hair clean, not meaning factoring into your budget, splurging at Bath and Body Works and Sephora and Ulta and all of that to get your perfume. Transportation, whether you're taking public transportation, go ahead and look in your bank accounts and see how much that you typically spend or how much you're anticipating to spend per month on Ubers, Lyfts, or how much you just spend on gas or like carpooling and whatever. So make sure you calculate your transportation expenses, your toiletries, how much you spend on healthcare. If you pay like health insurance per month, $100 is good for like if you already have insurance or whatever, as far as like your doctor's appointments that you might be having, your dentist, if you got to go to a gynecologist, if you do like lab work, all type of stuff. Put whatever your healthcare costs tend to be. And like I said, groceries, if you got food stamps, shout out to you. If you in Chicago, we call it the link card. If you got your link card, that makes your groceries free. For me, I know I spend about $250. I live with myself in Atlanta, Georgia, and groceries are a little bit high, so just keep that in mind. And then, rent, utilities. The only major utilities that you need is lights, water, and gas. Okay, you don't have to be, I feel like rent and utilities is not something you want to compromise on and try to find shortcuts, baby. You ain't broke if your rent, light, water, and gas is on, baby. If all that is paid, you was good. But don't be trying to cut shortcuts to buy perfumes and eat out and all this other stuff that's not an essential bill that'll either lead to legal action, you being evicted, or you being starving, homeless, out on the street looking crazy. All that stuff can be negotiated, but everything else I just listed, rent, utilities, groceries, toiletries, hygiene products, transportation, and healthcare, those are mandatory. That's the main thing you need to focus. Okay, once you go through your bank statements and calculate what all those things are, you're going to either multiply by 3, as in 3 months, add all that together and multiply by 3. Okay, so when I calculated all of my expenses, it came out to a little over $3,500 a month. That means subtract all of that, subscriptions, Netflix subscriptions, getting your nails done. I know some people do like to have a mandatory like pampering expense just for like self-care stuff. So if you want to just add in like one little thing like that, that's cool. Just be mindful of prioritizing the other ones. Other stuff is not necessary to be factoring in, like subscriptions. You can find a friend that will have a free subscription. All of that, like Wi-Fi, like I said, get cool with your neighbors in front of that Wi-Fi, or just get really cheap Wi-Fi. You can always find cheap Wi-Fi. Factor in your phone bill and stuff like that. Those are the mandatory things that could be, they fluctuate based on usage. But like I said, calculate all of your mandatory bills that will either, if you do not pay those and have a cushion for those, you will either be getting that sent to collections as it impacting your credit, be homeless, or out on the street looking crazy. So like I said, once you add all that up together, you're going to multiply that by 3, or if you want to do the 6 months emergency savings before you move into your apartment, that is going to be times 6. So I did 3 months that I'm going to save up $3,500, and that came out to a little bit over 10,000. I don't even know. I'm gonna put the total on the screen. Just make sure you really take the time to look through everything, because you can weed some of that stuff out. We're focusing on moving in an apartment and being comfortable. Okay, we're not focusing on which I'll be focusing on. Okay, now point number 2. You want to have all of your pay stubs and documentation in order. Okay, we're going to keep this step really simple. Depending on where you are moving, if you're moving out of state, make sure that you are checking in with the leasing office and the management to make sure everything that you need to have. That might be identification. You might need a social security card. You might need to bring in a utility bill showing that you transferred the services over to that address. You might need a security deposit. Just make sure that you have all of those required documentations and pay stubs. If you want to do the little cheat code and get somebody to make your fake pay stubs, all power be to you. Jesus Christ be with you. But baby, sometimes y'all ain't gotta do all that. Okay, don't be doing no damn fake ID and passport because you're going to jail. Number 3 is having a firm budget in mind, which ties into, like I said, the 6 months of expenses. So I will make another video on how to budget when you get into your first apartment. But like I said, budgeting is simply just mapping out what all of your mandatory expenses are going to be and weeding out all the stuff that you do not need, which, like I said, is Netflix, constantly getting your lashes done, hair done, a shopping spree, shoes, clothes. When you're moving into your first apartment, your priority is just being comfortable. Everything else can come with that. And you have a firm budget in mind. Some people do 10, 10, 80. Some people do 20, 20, God, 60. Below your means does not mean you're gonna be impoverished, but you don't want to be impoverished by living above your means. That's actually more likely. If you live in above your means, entirely above your means, that's how you become in poverty, babe. So look for apartments during the best season, which in my opinion is winter time. You know, people are gonna be looking for a new apartment because of the summertime. So a lot of apartment complexes are going to be having good deals around it. And it's cold, so don't nobody really be wanting to move. Fall, people are typically gonna be moving out as well before it gets too cold. So, you know, does that make sense? Look during the best season. Also, another tip, you are looking for an apartment within a range of 60 to 30 days. The closer you are looking to the moving date for your apartment, the more discounted it's going to be. That's a tip that I got from some of my leasing consultant and leasing agent friends. And if you're having trouble looking for an apartment or for tips on how to get the best deals on an apartment, just go ahead and invest in an apartment locator. For those of y'all that are looking to move to Atlanta, if you want a video on how to move to Atlanta and how to find an apartment, just let me know if y'all are interested in that. Now, the next step, I feel like it's super important. This is for people that are probably still searching for an apartment, haven't visited the apartment that they just signed a lease for, I guess. Before you sign any lease or put down any security deposit and agree to anything, when you have your list of apartments that you are looking at in that area, babe, if you listen to anything on this list, I need you to make sure you are touring the exact unit they are trying to get you to sign that lease for. Do not fall for the okie doke, like my daddy would say. You do not need to be moving into no apartment that is claiming its luxury, and the apartment that you ended up touring was a whole 180 from what you've seen. Polished, it's smelling good up in there, smelling like a champagne toast candle, got the nice views, and you done signed that lease because they told you it's the same way, that's gonna look the same. You sign that damn lease and you move in. Oh, apartment got roaches, rats, it's viewing a construction site where they're doing construction all damn day, and it's the same apartment complex, and y'all gave me the room that Harry Potter was sleeping in, the attic that Cinderella was sleeping in, honey. What is this? Make sure that you are touring the unit that you are supposed to be moving into, y'all, because I'm telling y'all. Number 6, get things for your apartment little by little. If you haven't moved out of your original apartment yet, or if you're still at home with a relative, a loved one, or a friend, get things for your apartment little by little. As in, if you need to go to Dollar Tree, Costco, Sam's Club, or have a registry like on Amazon, Walmart, etc., so you're not moving in and then gotta go through the whole hassle of getting everything all at once, if that makes sense. It's gonna be way easier if you already have stuff like bedding, if you already have stuff like furniture in the storage unit, you already have like cleaning supplies, if you already have stuff to eat with like forks, knives, plates, napkins, instead of moving into your apartment and you in your apartment for the first 3 months looking like Will off of Fresh Prince, just standing around looking all crazy.
You don't want me, man.
Your priority is a comfortable bed, toiletries, having a toolbox, a first aid kit, Wi-Fi. Like I said, you can get a hotspot or like some cheap alternative to Wi-Fi. There's programs that I'll list down below. But the thing is, your priority is not to rush and get everything to make your apartment aesthetically pleasing. Boom, super short and simple for number 7, okay? You need to find the most affordable movers in your area. TaskRabbit, friends, family. You dating somebody, they better be willing to help you on your moving date, because I bet you they're gonna be up in there trying to eat all the snacks, and I'm not just talking about the groceries that be in the fridge. I'm talking about, yeah, okay. Find an affordable mover in your area. Google affordable movers, find out your budget, or see if your family, your friends, your uncle, your auntie will help you with moving, okay? Because they're gonna be the first people trying to come over there talking about cousin. All right, so boom, number 8, I feel like it's the most important, especially if you are living by yourself for the first time. Invest in surveillance and weapons, okay? I don't know if I can say it on YouTube, but weapons as in the pew pew and the tase and the spray. Get the Citizen app so you can know what's going on around you at all times. I always recommend getting a Ring camera. Just make sure that your leasing office or wherever you're moving allows you to have like surveillance cameras on the front or back of your apartment, whatever. Like a little door jamb to prevent break-ins and anti-theft. Lockbox or like a little safety box, a little safe. Always prioritize your safety. If you need to take a self-defense class of something, babe, something about living alone or even just moving into a new area by yourself, you want to stay protected because there are people out here with nothing to lose. Now we got number 9. Live below your means or make sure you have minimal debt and enough stable income coming in. Nothing worse than thinking that you can make ends meet because you lied on your pay stubs and said that you made 3.5 times the rent. Maybe you probably making not even 1 times. When you live below your means, you have more time to save, stack up, invest, so you can eventually be living within your means and luxury, okay? So if you are going from a $900 apartment and your income is still matching the $900 apartment, you don't need to be trying to be overly ambitious and moving somewhere that is 6 times your rent. What are you doing in a $5,000 penthouse? We do not need to be doing side hustle after side hustle to make ends meet. Living below your means does not mean that you are poor. It means that you are being smart. You are thinking for your future self. And the last tip is thoroughly research your area of your apartment before you are moving in, because baby, when I first moved to Atlanta, I just wanted the first apartment that I had seen online. It fit my budget. I didn't see that apartment until I had moved in the first week. And my first red flag was how often they kept pushing back my move-in date to fix the paint that was chipping in the tub. Girl, if you don't get the, you making sure that it's not no food desert, plenty of public transportation, plenty of ways to commute. Just want to make sure that it's safe by your means. I'm not just talking about going on Google Maps, interactive little 3D thing, but actually drive through the neighborhood. If you don't want a whole bunch of trap houses on one corner and helicopters flying up, research your apartment and make sure you're moving into the right unit. Thoroughly read your lease. You need to know all the hidden fees, what you're paying for, what your amenities are. Know what you are signing, because a lease is a contract and it's very hard to break. If you enjoyed that series, let me know what tips that you guys want me to expound upon in the video. That's all my time for today. Make sure you smash that like button and that subscribe button and turn that notification bell for all notifications, not just a little bit, but all the notifications. Comment down below what video y'all want to see next. I love y'all. I hope y'all are being kind to y'allself, and I hope that y'all get everything y'all desire. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.